Okay, so here we're going. Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to move when I go live. Excuse me. So sorry for this. Move it over there. Then it doesn't look so weird. Almost looks like I'm looking at you. At least better than the other way. Whew. So I couldn't figure out how to get my thing work. I'm like, it's not accessing my camera. It's not accessing my camera. Apparently, I had my camera open in another app, and so it was using that. Yeah. So it's been an interesting week. Very interesting week. Very kind of crazy, kind of busy. Less going on, but not necessarily anything super inspirationally important to share. Some fun things going on this week. I get to experience some healing methods that I've heard a lot about, but I've never actually experienced. One is NLP. I get to have a session for that tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. I'm hoping that she can help me with some codependency issues, because codependency has come up as a big thing. So I'm kind of late. I'm like, it's bedtime. I'm tired. I've not been getting a lot of great sleep this week. A lot of late nights. And but tonight was Friday was my daughter's birthday. If you watched that video, you already know. And so we chatted with her, and family came over. My daughter-in-law, oh my gosh, her little baby bump. Her baby's due on July 8th. So we've got the month of May, so she's got like 2.5 months left. It's so cute. It's so cute. So cute to see her pregnant. And my little grandbaby. And they told us what they're thinking of naming her. And I'm excited about that. The one name, I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell you not to name your baby that. It's not my place to make those kind of decisions. But they said the other name that they're thinking of. And I just was like, I like that. It just feels so, I don't even know how to explain it. It just feels right, I guess. But we'll see what they name her. I'm so excited. So excited to meet her. So I've been researching codependency because I've been struggling with some things. And one of the things on my vision board actually has been super hard for me, and it's been hard for me to figure out. When I was looking up about a situation that's happening in my life, when I was looking up some information, I came across codependency as a part of this, and I went, that thing's rearing its head again. And I got thinking about it. I'm like, in order for me to achieve my dream board or my vision board item, I have got to clear up the codependency. And that's why I'm hoping that my friend who does NLP can assist me with that. I'm really looking forward to that. That would be such a neat world. So far, what I found is that you have to love yourself. And I have been doing everything in my power to love myself. I think I'm pretty darn amazing. I think I'm really beautiful. I think that I'm intelligent. I think that I'm inspiring. Like when people tell me that I'm inspiring, I accept the compliment because I feel like it's true. I feel like that I have been blessed with that ability. I still struggle with feeling wanted and some belonging stuff, and I've tried all the things to work on every other area of my life, and it has been working. And so I'm hoping the NLP will help. And that's something that happens. I find it really interesting when I meet people who do energy work and they only stick with one modality, because as incredible as some of the modalities I use are, there are times when I need something else. It's not like, I don't know, there's just certain circumstances where something else seems to work when what I've been trying doesn't work. And what I do does incredible things. It goes so deep. It goes so wonderful, but it just hasn't been able to shift this. And maybe it's because I end up doing so much work on myself. I was talking to a friend earlier about needing a guide, that maybe I need a guide to go through what I'm going through to find this stuff, to heal it. Because sometimes I think walking ourselves through things, whether we're doing energy work or just trying to figure out what we feel about life, sometimes I think we get really big blind spots, and it's hard to really see what's going on. That's why I like the concept of the mirror, that what you see in other people, you probably have inside of you. You either are doing that somewhere in your life, and it could just be with yourself. Like, I know so many people that like, I'm not judgmental. I'm not judgmental. I'm not judgmental. And they may not share any judgments they have about other people, but holy cow, hear them talk about themselves. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if you weren't judgmental, you would not be saying that stuff about yourself, because those things that you're saying about yourself are so judgmental. But if we're seeing it, if we're triggered by something in somebody else, we probably have that in us. Or sometimes it's a matter of we're like really super afraid of becoming that kind of a person. Because I think sometimes we're either we really are that, or we are the polar opposite of that, in order, like, so that we're aligned with that, because like there's some part of us that feels like we deserve that thing. So I don't think that we're always necessarily being that way. Like a certain type of person tends to attract people with okay, we'll do this one. A lot of empaths, or perceived empaths, attract narcissists. And I kind of know why. Narcissists like to play on our desire to help and support and love everybody, are unconditionally accepting of people, kind of attracts a certain type of people into our lives. So we end up attracting, in general, narcissists attract empaths, and empaths attract narcissists. And it doesn't mean that every empath out there attracts a narcissist, and it doesn't mean that a narcissist isn't going to end up in a relationship with a different type of person. But that seems to be kind of the connection, because it's like you either are what you're seeing in somebody else, or you're like the polar opposite that kind of gets that. And when you heal those things inside of yourself, you're no longer aligned with that, which is part of why this codependency thing is like a really big deal for me to change, because I'm seeing how that affects so many areas of my life. And it's not something that I ever want to be. I hate being an enabler. It's probably the part of me that I dislike the most. And there's just a lot of things about it. And yet that's not exactly something that everybody's going to step on YouTube and say, hey, I'm codependent, or I'm an enabler, or whatever. But I think it's good to recognize that kind of stuff. And I didn't realize that I was still exhibiting that. I wasn't aware of that until some things came up recently. And so I'm really excited about that. It means it gives me something to look at. So hopefully I will have some big changes this week. I've got that happening tomorrow, the NLP session tomorrow. I have a BEST, which is another healing session that I'm doing tomorrow as well. So that'll be interesting. I have 2 different types of healing modalities in the same day. And then on Wednesday, I'm excited about this. I'm going to this mentoring thing. It's like a networking group or something where people come together, and there's going to be some speaker and something like that. I don't know. But the whole reason I got invited to this was because I want to speak on stages. And I posted that on Facebook, like, hey guys, I want to speak on 30 stages this year. Who do you know? What resources do you have that you can get me in events and in venues? Can connected with the right people. And one of the responses was a guy inviting me to come to this, where there's going to be people there that do this. And so you may have seen him on TV. His name is Gerald Rogers, and he was on was it the Today Show or something? I don't know. He wrote this big thing right after his divorce about women and some changes that he kind of wished he would have done, things he wished he would have done different. And like his Facebook friends, I was Facebook friends with him before that, and they just exploded. And which is kind of nice to see when you think about it. Like the last time I looked, I had 43 subscribers here on this channel. Yay, I'm so excited about that. Thank you so much. And isn't it funny how just like this guy who wrote a thing, he wrote this big old long Facebook post that went viral. Like seriously, there are still, he went so viral that there are people posting it as if a different person said it, because it's gone that viral that it's even gotten out to where now it's being attributed to other people, which is kind of crazy, but kind of cool. But he was featured on a TV show because of it, of what he said on this, and his healing business. Like he's not a healer. Well, he might be a healer, but he does like coaching, thought coaching, I guess is what he does. So he does that kind of stuff, really cool. And he went viral. And so his Facebook friend results just exploded. His business exploded. Everything just happened. And the same thing, we see that happening on YouTube all the time. Like somebody will like be plugging along in their channel and just getting a few, and then all of a sudden they make this amazing video that goes viral, and all of a sudden, bam, everybody subscribed to them. And I think that's really cool. It's really fun to see how that can happen. And I think it happens in everything in our lives, that we can be like, for all this time, I've not had dates. It's been frustrating as heck for me to not have dates. And then, like all of a sudden now I have multiple people like asking me out, and I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's really cool. And so it's kind of fun how that can happen. How somebody can be plugging along, applying everything they learn about the law of attraction, applying it as best as they can. And then one day, it's like, I think of it like a cup. You've got a cup of water, right? And it's filling up, and it's filling up, and it's filling up, and it's filling up, and it's filling up. And sometimes when you're just like, oh my gosh, it's not working. It's not working. And it's because it's still in this filling up space. And we're not necessarily looking at the cup. We're, maybe that's not the best analogy. But kind of, we'll put the cup, imagine, if you will, that somebody's turned on a faucet and the water's trickling and it comes down and it's filling up this cup. And when this cup gets to a specific level, it will do that tipping thing. And then that's when it pours down on you. So maybe what it is you've got this cup up above you and you are looking up at that cup going, oh my gosh, it is taking forever. It's never going to fill up, and my life is miserable or whatever. But you then are like, nope, I'm just going to have faith that cup is filling up. I'm just going to have faith that it's coming. And then all of a sudden, it just dumps. It just tips over. You know how when you just get just enough things and it just tips over and it just comes down on you, and the stream comes down on you, or whatever, like maybe it just pushed that thing out of the way and it just keeps pouring and pouring and pouring. And that's kind of what we do in life. We just keep going and going and going, and then one day it just clicks all into place and it starts happening. And I've got a few things that it's feeling like that right now. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So if you're not feeling it, keep plugging along. Do your best to stay in the abundance mindset that things are going to work out, things are going great. Keep staying in that the best that you can, because the more you focus on the positive, the more positive you get, and the more positive, the faster that little trickle is going to come in, where it's just going to like push that block thing over, and it's just going to pour on you. It's going to be awesome. And that's where I'm at. Or like when you Or like a roller coaster. Ooh, that's a fun analogy. I just had that one come into mind. Like you're going up and up and up, and sometimes it feels like it's never going to go anywhere. And you're just like, oh my gosh, it's taking forever to get to the top. And then you get to the top and you get to the top. And I feel like in so many areas of my life, like I'm on the front of the roller coaster. And you know how if you're at the front of the roller coaster, you have to wait until that last car goes over. So you're here and you're going, I know that we're here. I'm like I'm facing down. I know what's coming. And you have to wait for that last car and then you just zip. And that's what it feels like I'm at right now. I'm looking on it. It's all happening. I can see that it's coming. I feel it. It's like inside of me, like I'm buzzing. I'm like, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. And I'm on the front of the roller coaster, hands ready to go. Okay, not really. I hold on tight. So kind of not the best analogy. You're not supposed to hold on tight. You're supposed to let it go. And then that last car lets go and you just zip and you go through the loop-de-loops and it's really fun ride and everything like that. Unless you hate those roller coasters, and then I apologize. But that's what I feel like. I feel like in life, and yet sometimes when we're at that place, maybe we're not on the front of the roller coaster. Maybe we're in the back one and we're going, like you're seeing, and you can't even see that the front car has actually gone over. And you're still here going, I'm going up and up and up and up. And then you just zip right over and you're doing the thing because you're at the back. And so it seems like it took longer to get there. I don't know where you're at in your life. And maybe it's a different roller coaster ride for each thing that you're doing. We talk about the law of gestation. And that's, principle. I decided it was a principle of gestation that, things have different timing. So maybe that's what you can think about, is that you're on a different roller coaster for each thing. Like I have 9 things up on my vision board plus my YouTube special spot. I have a special spot for YouTube because I didn't want to leave it off my board so I could focus on other things. So I made a special spot. That's the YouTube spot. And my YouTube spot is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But what if I have a different roller coaster for all 10 of those things? Or even all the things that are on my dream board and not just my vision board. What if I have a different roller coaster from each of them? And maybe I'm on the front of the roller coaster on one looking down. It's getting ready to let go and zip into reality. Or maybe I'm at the back of the roller coaster. Or maybe some of them I could still be waiting for everybody to get on and the seatbelts to lock and be sitting there waiting for them. Or maybe they're checking stuff. I don't know. Sometimes you go to an amusement park and you get on it and you have to wait for them to do all this checking and you're going, oh my gosh, how long is this going to take? And you're just waiting for things to happen and then the ride comes. Sometimes maybe that's where some of our stuff's at. Maybe we're in that waiting stage right before we get going. Or maybe you're on the climb. Or maybe you're just hanging right there ready to go over. And for some of you, you may be zipping around the loops and getting ready to go again. That's exciting. And it's exciting to think about that you could have a different roller coaster place and you could be in a different place for each thing that you're creating. That's a fun analogy. I like that. Okay. So thank you for watching. Remember to let your soul shine big, bright, light, and beautiful. And be sure to subscribe so that you can catch up what I'm doing. I decided not to post the pre-scheduled videos on Sunday. So I'm just going to do Sunday. I'm just going to do a live video at some point in time in the day. Today was a little late. It's 10 p.m. here in Utah. So it's a little late for me. I try to do them like at 6:30 or 7 p.m. May try to see if I can get them in the mornings, but that's kind of crazy with choir practice and church and everything. But that's what I'm looking at, is instead of posting a video that I've edited and everything, is just doing lives on Sunday and then doing all the others, which tomorrow's video may be late. Oh, that's what I'm doing tomorrow morning. So excited. My friend Lydia Taggart, and she's got a channel. She is on, she does a Facebook Live on Mondays. She used to be on Live Talk Radio was that called? What was it called? I don't remember what it was called, like the BBM Global Network and iHeartRadio and all that stuff. So she had a radio show. She decided that she liked video better than radio. And she was also a little frustrated with some of the things. It wasn't doing what she wanted it to. And so she's taken her radio show and putting it on Facebook Live. So on Monday morning, she does Facebook Lives and she interviews people, and I get to be on her show in the morning. I'm so excited. So 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or Mountain Daylight Time. We're on daylight savings. Anyway, Mountain Time, 9 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time, Facebook Live. If you find Layers of Communication, you'll find her and you can watch the show on Facebook. And then when she has the video ready, I'll post the video on my channel. Plus, I'll include a link so that you can subscribe to her channel too, because she does these every Monday. And they're pretty fun to listen to or watch. And so that's exciting. Isn't that exciting? Some fun things going on this week. Some really awesome life happening. And some of it doesn't feel so good. But we're here to experience life, and that includes things that don't feel as good and learning to find the good in them, learning to find the lessons. Okay, for a moment there, it looked like I had somebody watching for a second, and that's okay. I know that most of you are probably asleep. I don't even know what time it is for some of you guys, because some of you guys are over in Europe. It's kind of fun to think about. It's really fun to think about, actually, that some of you guys that are over in Europe. That's really cool. I love the internet and the ability to connect with everybody. Okay, so now I'm truly saying to remember to let your soul shine live, and have a wonderful day. And I will see you tomorrow.